We can now work on the different fabric elements. So I've added a simple plane that I have subdivided a few times and added a mirror modifier. Then I will add a solidify modifier to give it some thickness and adjust it. I will then extrude a few additional loops to make it longer. I won't be adding this edge on the border that we can see on the reference, this sort of thicker element, because I don't understand what it is currently. It doesn't really make sense for me, even if it was kind of a laser bevel or something like this. I prefer to keep this piece of fabric flat, and then we will be sculpting some wrinkles on it. I will add a pair of supporting loop on the very edge of this object, and then I will just make a copy of it and move it on the back side and reshape it rapidly. I will also reset its origin point on this vertex so that it rotates along this vertex. That will make modification easier when it comes to positioning on the back side. Then making some modification using the proportional editing fall-off, I will make it fitting our character and having a better shape. To make the wraps around the ends, I will select the body mesh, go into edit mode, mask the edged border of those wraps, and then I will just make a selection and duplicate the mesh and separate it by pressing P and confirm. I can then add a solidify modifier, adjust it, since it's a copy of our base mesh, it also has the multi-res modifier. So I can go into sculpt mode and try to smooth a little bit this joint that turned to be a little bit buggy. We can proceed the same way with the straps on the leg. So I'm not considering the strap that is crossing the thigh here. We will model it a little later. But as before, I'm just isolating the portions of topology that are interesting for me. And then I will just duplicate them and separate them by pressing P. I will add a solidify modifier, and I will then get rid of the multi-resolution modifier and replace it by a subdivision modifier that I will combine with a shrink wrap. This will smooth out the surface, because here we can see the muscle a little too much and it doesn't look realistic. So I'm adding the shrink wrap first, sourcing the body mesh, then I will revise the solidify modifier and put the subdivision modifier on top of everything. And now I have this nice wraps on the leg. So I can now go into edit mode and extrude the missing wraps. So don't worry about the fact here that I have still the multi-resolution modifier. I've changed my mind along the way, but I got back to what we have done before, so just I don't care about the multi-resolution modifier for the time being. With the snapping tool available and enabled, sorry, I'm just extruding some edges to get this crossing strap and make sure it's all quad when I make the junction with the top part here. I will give it some thickness by extruding another row of loops and edges, and then I will just make sure that everything is clean. And I'll see that I need to support a little more the connection with the top part, so I will make those two vertices closer. Then I will extrude around the thigh here something to get a straight cut into this piece and to complete it, so that's straightforward. Then I will get rid of half of the model and add a mirror modifier so that I don't have to make this work twice. I can now repeat the process on the back side and then tweak some of the vertices to make them fit correctly the skin just under it and avoiding some clipping. I will finish the model by adding a bevel modifier. This is not a modifier I use oftenly, but here I believe it's a clever way to get sharpened edges. So I will set it to degree, and I believe with an angle over 60 degrees that should be okay. I will also increase the number of cuts and then smooth everything. I will proceed the exact same way for the straps around the biceps and also for the shirt. So let's do it into a short time lapse.